Yo, what up? What's poppin'? Back at it again with another video for y'all. And I just wanted to chat with y'all because people like be talking about because when it comes down to black culture, the black community, some people feel that with the black community that things like reality TV, which if you ask me, I kind of feel like reality TV is like degrading towards the black community because again, people are tricked by stereotypes. And some people, they go by some of the stuff that they see on these reality TV shows. I mean, some people always want to talk about which, because I did a video breaking it down, explaining that the 90s was like the golden era for hip hop. But there's something else special about the 90s too. The 90s is like the best era for black culture, period. Hip hop, R&B, sitcoms, TV shows, movies. The 90s was like the best era for black culture because when it came down to TV sitcoms, they were comical. TV sitcoms like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters, um Martin, sitcoms like Log. There's like a lot of amazing sitcoms. In a Living Color was more of like the black version of Mad TV, but yeah, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Family Matters, Martin, In the House. There's like way too many like black sitcoms to count from. But the most important thing about black sitcoms during the 90s is that it showed it there was some episodes that showed good messages. There was some episodes that showed deep messages in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like episodes, like when you watch the whole episode and you grasp the meaning of the message that they tried to show. But yeah, like the 90s was like the best era for black culture, period. Black sitcoms, hip hop, R&B, yeah, TV shows, movies. The 90s was like the best era for black culture because in this day and age, when it comes down to a lot of these TV shows, it seems like they just want to keep up with trends and they always want to promote an agenda. Back in the 90s, they didn't really care too much about agendas. And that's the thing about it, too. And in this video, I'm not trying to sound racist or anything, but on the show Living Single, which the show Living Single was like a classic. When it came down to the show Friends actually did have a little bit of similarities to Living Single. Some people may feel that when it came down to the show Friends, some people may feel that they stole some ideas from Living Single, which Living Single was a black sitcom. You know what I mean? Some people probably feel that maybe with the show Friends that maybe they tried to be copycatters because the actors, yeah, some of the fans may feel that with the way they do the opening for the show Friends, they feel that it's similar to the way they do the opening for the show Living Single, because Living Single was a classic and Friends was not a bad show at all either. I've seen some episodes of Friends. I mean, Friends is a classic. Living Single is a classic. Friends is a classic too. But at the same time, they did use some ideas from Living Single. Just like when it came down to sitcoms back in the 70s, Good Times, Norman Lear, Eric Monty. Norman Lear actually stole ideas from Eric Monty because Eric Monty, he was the one that came up with the idea for black sitcoms in the 70s. He's the one that pretty much created the sitcom Good Times. Florida Evans, played by Esther Roll, and you see Esther Roll as an actress. She was only gonna do the show Good Times if it showed a black father on the TV show, which it did. But later on in the seasons, John Amos, he's the one that played the character James Evans. He ended up getting killed, but you see, Esther Roll was only gonna do the show as if it showed like a black father. See, and that's another thing about the black community too. Like, there's a bunch of stereotypes. Some people feel that when it comes down to like a lot of these young black males, a lot of these young black males grow up with a single mother and there's no father figure in the picture. And you see, when it comes down to these sitcoms, yeah, for example, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil was like a father figure for young black males that grew up without a father, that had a single mother. Uncle Phil, which is played by the actor James Avery, God rest his soul, R.I.P. He passed away. Uncle Phil was like a father figure for young black males. I mean, and that's the thing about it. Like, after my dad had passed away when I was 15, I spent the rest of my teenage years without a father. But you see, music, with me having a passion for music, hip hop was like my dad. And you see, I mean, these black sitcoms that show like deep messages. I mean, Uncle Phil was like a father figure. Carl Winslow on Family Matters was like a father figure. But yeah, the 90s was like the best era for black culture. It wasn't just the best era for hip hop. It was the best era for black culture, period. Whether it was hip hop, whether it was R&B, whether it was like black sitcoms, the 90s was like the best era for black culture in general. I just wanted to share this video with y'all, chat with y'all, because yeah, lately I've been watching like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I mean, I just noticed that like there were episodes that showed like a deep message, that showed like deep messages, and they wanted like the fans, the watchers, the viewers to grasp the meaning. There was also deep messages even on black sitcoms in the 70s. There were deep messages on Good Times. I mean, where on that episode where Penny, she was like real sick, and Penny was played by Janet Jackson, and the doctor didn't even want to come to go check on Penny to, to make sure that she feels better. And you see, the doctor was pretty much like stereotyping the black community, which the doctor was a black doctor. And like Florida Evans had explained to the doctor, like in the black community, people buy what they can afford. Like in grocery stores, like with pork, like ham hocks and stuff. Yeah, like Florida Evans had explained to the doctor, buy what you can afford. And you see, that's the thing. Grocery prices are so high. Like, you got people out here that can't even really afford groceries. And even back in the day, back in the 70s, like, people bought what they could afford. But yeah, I just wanted to share this video with y'all, chat with y'all. I just wanted to, yeah, cause like when you watch like some of these sitcoms, they do show like deep messages, and they do try to teach you like a valuable lesson. But yeah, I just wanted to share this video with y'all because when you think about it, the 90s was like the best era for black culture. The 70s was another dope era for black culture too, but I feel like the 90s was like the golden era for black culture. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel, comment, share, like the video. Love y'all.